Hello, ladies, and welcome to Money Monday over here at Black Women Making Money. It's your girl, Cherie. I have a very special guest who is coming to talk to us about making your coins, being a notary. If you want to know about that, you're in the right place. We're going to put on our 90-second clock, give people a chance to come in, hit the like button, put replay in the comments if you're listening to the replay, and let's learn how we can get our money up being a notary. Here's our 90-second clock. Welcome to Black Women Making Money. We are the home of the upwardly mobile Black woman. For exclusive content and invitations to our Inner Circle Zoom meetings, which happen on a monthly basis, you can sign up for free for our email newsletter at bwmakingmoney.com. That's bwmakingmoney.com. Ladies, have I got a treat for all of you. Tonight, we are here to talk about becoming a mobile notary, making money as a mobile notary. I got my friend here, longtime follower of Black Women Making Money Notary World is in the building. Everybody put a 1 in the chat. Let us know if you could hear us. And hello, Notary World. Welcome.
Hi, Sheree. How you doing, hon?
I am good. I'm good. I am, y'all know, shameless plug, promoting my real estate investing course. It's totally free. You can learn how to get funding for your real estate deal. Showmethemoneycourse.com. Yes, shameless plug. It's very shameless plug. I will be doing it from now until the end of the year. You all can sign up, learn about real estate investing. But tonight, we want to talk about how you can learn how to be a notary. You know, most of you know, if you were listening to one of my previous lives, that I live close to our community college. And you know how you get the adult education classes, you know, they send you the little booklet. And I'm flipping through to see what classes I want to take. And there is a class, 1-day class for becoming a notary, where you're able to take the classes from 9 to 2, and you're able to, afterwards, you know, you are set up to do whatever you need to do in order to become a notary. And it's $200. So I was like, okay, I could do that. But then I said, wait a second, I need to know how I'm going to get my money back. Thus, Thus, I wanted to have the conversation. So tonight's conversation is more for me than anybody else. However, Mentor Shelley is here as well, and Mentor Shelley happens to be a notary as well, so I know that. So she's saying hello to everybody, and then Demure is in here as well. So, Notary World. First of all, thank you for being here this evening.
Yes, you're welcome. Yes, this is Notary World and all things notary. And I'm here to give any information to anyone that's aspiring to be a notary public in your state, because every state has a different type of laws of how they adhere to becoming a notary. I'm in Cali, so we had to do like a 6 hour course, and then we take the exam, and then we'll wait like maybe a month, and they'll let us know we passed or not. I know in some states,
One.
yeah, it takes like a couple of weeks, almost a month sometimes. Yeah, yeah. But in some states, all you have to do is just sign up and just pay the fee. There's like no test, no exam, or anything like that. So it's a good industry to get into. You can create a business out of it. You can also create a side hustle to just make extra money. But there are certain tactics out there where you can actually make this a full time career. Um, I know when I became a notary, it was because I wanted to become a loan signing agent. In order to become a loan signing agent, you have to be a notary. And what a
Mm-hmm.
loan signing agent is pretty much someone that deals with real estate transactions, which you are familiar with, Sheree, right? Familiar with that.
Say
So if
say
you
that
want to,
again. I'm sorry.
like, as far as like, you know what a loan signing agent is.
Hmm.
You do? Okay, yeah. So basically, it deals with like any type of real estate
Hmm.
transaction documents, whether it's a HELOC, a refinance,
Yes.
purchase, anything like that. So before the pandemic, I would say like around the pandemic time, before a lot of people wanted to become loan signing agents because the money was good, the interest rates were low, so people were refinancing. So it was nothing to
Hmm.
make like between $500 to maybe $1,000 a day doing loan signing. But once the interest rates went up, the market kind of just went down a little bit. So even real estate agents and everybody in the industry just kind of just trying to figure out ways to make money in this industry. So, as a notary, you still can be relevant because there's general notary work out there. You
Hmm.
got so many people that need documents notarized from anything from like your kids. You want to travel across country with your kids, you need to get that notarized, or someone that's in the hospital that needs a POA done, which is a power of attorney done. You have to get that notarized. So it's so many avenues in this industry where you can actually make money. Estate, anything dealing with estate planning. Yeah,
Yeah. So I will say to everybody that the refi market is ticking up again. So if you want to get into being a notary and you want to do, the loan signings, that market is ticking up again. 2025, people are expecting 2025 to really like see an uptick, huge uptick in refis. And it's not just refis. I have a client buying a house, and we have a mobile notary going to her house tomorrow night to sign the closing documents for a purchase. So depending on what's happening, even purchases, sometimes people will hire a mobile notary to go and get those documents signed. Um, yes, end of life. We know a lot of baby boomers are at the point where they're either planning or, they're preparing for their demise and all of that. That market over the next 20 years is going to be hot, you know.
yeah,
Um, there's so many. I'm sorry, my mother was talking to me as well. There are just so many markets that are about to heat up as well, that I think that it is a good time based on what you're saying the markets are, or the different types of notaries. sorry, the different types of situations that need notaries, I think it's a great time for people to consider it if that's something that you want to do. So let's talk about the money then, because people want to know, like, how much can I make? So you mentioned $500 a day. That was just for people who were doing refinance signings, right? Loan
It was
signings.
it just yes, anything dealing with loan signing because
Mm-hmm.
even what you were just saying how it's about the uptick in 2025.
Mm-hmm.
I'm already getting calls from title companies, alerting me, telling me that I'm gonna be like one of their preferred notaries in my area.
Good.
Because where I live at is I live in like the Hollywood area for the
Mm-hmm.
most part, like
Oh, you do? Oh,
so
wow.
yeah. So
Okay.
where I'm at, there's you already know real estate is just like booming over here, like $1 million
Mm-hmm.
homes and everything like that. So they're already contacting us, and even not even just that either, but as a notary, there's so many other things you can do in that window, like you were addressing about the inner life. What I was talking about, the estate planning you know
Mm-hmm.
um because a lot of times whenever you go and you meet a client, you never know who you're going to meet for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
That's why this business is so interesting, because a lot of people, they need you for all types of services a lot of the time. Like, you
Mm-hmm.
think you're going there to just notarize a document, like I said earlier, about a kid needs to go like across the country or whatever. They might need you to do a trust for them, like notarized trust documents. And in the state of California, also, because I'm also a paralegal by trade, so
Okay.
you know, with their laws and everything here, like I could become like a LDA, like, which is a legal document preparer. And what they do is that they draft documents like I was saying, like the trust, the irrevocable trust, and wills and all that type of stuff. You can't give them legal advice. They have to actually give you the information, but you can draft those documents for them, and you can make lawyer type of money, honestly. But
Interesting.
they come into you for a cheaper amount, but you can charge them, whatever. But the money that is made in this industry, it's all about you being creative, and you're finding ways to like assist a particular client, because
Right.
they look to you for so many things, because they like, okay, you're a notary. And what a notary is, when I think about it, it's like a mini judge. You
It's a
know,
mini judge.
it's
Explain
like a
that.
min judge. Yeah,
Explain that.
in a way. Like for an example, like you have to make sure the person is who they say they are in front of you,
Yes.
and you have to make sure they're credible, and then they have to take oath in front of you also.
Mm-hmm.
Depends on, like, if you're doing like a gerard or something like that, because you have acknowledgments, you have gerard, you have certain type of documents, and you have to swear those people. Have to get sworn in. So that's why I say it's kind of like a mini judge. You have to be very like, make sure that you're doing the right thing. Your judgment is like really on the line.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can run into situations where, it. I done been in so many situations where I'm like, oh, I can't do that. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
stuff
So I
like
want to take
that.
a
But
step back. First of all, it's Donna BXBY. Wishing you the best on your notary journey. Stay encouraged. So thank you. And Denise is in the building as well. Thank you to Denise and to everybody else who's here. I want to go back though to the $500. Is
huh?
so we were talking about the fact that you knew people who were making $500 uh,
Yeah.
being so I have some clarifying questions. The $500 during the refinance boom, as a loan signing agent. My question is, was that for a full day? Was that for one signing? Like,
Like,
break it down a
it
little bit for us.
it don't necessarily have to be a refinance. It could be a
Mhm.
purchase,
It could
on
be
the
a
buyer
purchase as
side, the
well.
seller side.
Yes.
So
Hmm.
so basically, in essence, it's like, a title company will contact you, and they would say, we got a refinance, and we need this done within, like, can you get there in like 2 hours, right?
Hmm.
Most of those documents are like 200 pages for the most part. So you
Hmm.
go there, you make sure that everyone has signed correctly in the right places, the initials, and then, they'll pay you, like $250.
Hmm.
I would say maybe between like 150 to 250. This is when stuff was like really, really booming. So if you're doing like maybe like two of those a day, let's say
Mhm.
at the higher end is 250, you doing two signings, that's $500.
Got it.
You
Got
know,
it. So,
yeah.
do you have to be on call like that? Or, because some people are working or things like that. Was it one of those things where people have to be on call and it's like, hey, can you be there in 2 hours? Or is it like, hey, can you be there tomorrow evening?
Yeah, it can be like that also. They can say, well, we have a sign. It could be a Tuesday, and they say we
Hmm.
have a client that needs something done on a Saturday.
Hmm.
Like it can be any type of situation. It can be within the next 30 minutes. Can you get there? You
Hmm.
know, or
Do they
anything. And
pay
then
you
some.
ex do they pay you extra if it's like, can you get there in the next 2 hours? Or do they pay
It
you
just
the same rate?
it depends on the title company.
Hmm.
Sometimes it does depend. That's why it's important in this industry. A lot of times is to go direct. And so what direct means is that you yourself go to the title company yourself, because there are signing companies that also sign you to work also. And so what they
Hmm.
do is that they would get the work from the title company, and they'll take their money off the top, and
Hmm.
they'll pay you maybe like 125 or something like that, or like $100. But in today's market, they're it's so lowball that they will pay you like $80 to $95.
Okay.
So yeah, so a lot of people are like looking. That's why I say they're looking for like other ways to make money, or just go simply direct
So
to the
when you
title.
say go direct, let's say I find ABC title company, right? They're
Right.
listed online. Who do I
Mhm.
call? Like I pick up the phone, I email them, like,
You email
what.
them, or in some cases you can like go in your local area,
Mhm.
because there's title companies everywhere, right? And so what you do to spruce up to them, I guess, like cozy up to them, you go
Mhm.
there and maybe you have like some donuts or something and some coffee, and
Got
give them
it.
your business, yeah, and go and give
Mhm.
them your business card and let them know like, hey, I wouldn't mind being your preferred notary in this area. I'm down the street. You need some documents, some loan documents, signed. I'm your girl.
Mhm.
And so you have to do like so many of those before someone sometimes would say yes to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, but a lot of times, a lot of notaries are, they have full-time jobs, and a
Mhm.
lot of them don't answer their phones. So, you might have the upper hand in those types of scenarios.
Yes, yes. So that's one of the things I was thinking is, a lot of notaries will be doing this part time. So if you're available during the daytime or you're available, like within certain periods where most people aren't available, or even if you get a phone call at 3 o'clock for somebody that needs something at 5:30, if you're the first person to answer the phone, then you could be the one who gets that, gets that.
Yeah.
Um,
And that's
so,
the key.
hmm Denise is saying I found a notary class in my local community college. Yeah, so and Denise is in Georgia. So I
Oh yeah.
believe Georgia or North Carolina. I can't remember which one. I'm sorry, Denise. But and I'm in Maryland. I'm in Northern Maryland. So people should definitely check their local community college for these notary classes. Um, and if this is something you want to do, definitely consider doing it. Um, so the other thing I will say, just from a networking point of view, is if you go in with donuts or any kind of food, always get a business card as well. Get a business card from the office manager or like whomever the person is who schedules the notaries. Um, and the reason I suggest that is because if you just go in there one time and they forget about you or they lose your card, lose it or whatever, it's probably more like innocent, lose it. Then you have spent time, you spent money, and you haven't gotten anything back. And but if you get the office manager's card or whomever's card that is responsible for booking the mobile notaries and you keep up with them even once a week, like, hey, just checking in, is there anybody that I can help you with today? By the time you call 3 or 4 times, they'll be like, oh, that Denise, she's on top of it, I'm going to hire her, I'm going to call her the next time we get somebody. And these title companies are getting people multiple times a day. that need documents signed, depending on the title company if they're busy enough. So, um, and Denise is in North Carolina. Yeah, as soon as I said Georgia, I was like, I don't think that's right. So yeah, North Carolina. But that's just a little tip with regards to don't waste the donuts. you know,
Yeah.
go in there with the donuts, but you leave with something as well. Like, who's the person that I speak with? Can I get their card? And start developing a relationship with people. Do you have anything else to say with regards to that?
Yeah, I do agree with that. Get their contact information and try to follow up. Because a lot of times, like I was saying earlier, sometimes people don't notaries don't answer their phone.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to be able to be a preferred notary to any of these title companies.
Yeah.
You want them to have your name, in their mouth because and especially, whenever you do get those types of jobs from them, you want to make sure you do a great job. Like you do not want to mess up. That's the
Mm-hmm.
that's the real key there because when you're dealing with real estate documents, you don't want to people want to get their stuff pushed through fast, and these
Mm-hmm.
little errors slow up their process.
Yeah.
I'm quite sure you're familiar with that. Like
Mhm.
people get
I
upset
am.
about that.
I
It could
am.
be just it could be a simple thing like someone didn't get an initial on a document.
That's true. That's true. We've had to send notaries back for, they didn't get a
Yeah,
signature that was needed. And the deed, when they record the deed, it'll get kicked back
feedback.
if, yes, if all of the pages are not signed. And the person at the county is going to check to make sure that all of the pages are signed. And the title company typically has title insurance. So if the deed is not recorded right and things like that, the title company could be on the hook for that. So, everybody is like really trying to make sure that their stuff is tight. So you as a notary have to be tight as well. So I do want to say hello to Black Widow Row, who I haven't seen in a while, saying, ooh, I've been wanting to look into this as a side hustle. Well, you are in the right place. And Demir is saying, I just checked and my state's requirements include a $10,000 surety bond. How do you get one? So, Notary, do you want to answer this?
Yes, for each state, they do ask that you have like E&O insurance and a
What
bond.
is E&O
Um,
insurance? You got to tell people what that means.
oh, okay. Errors and what is the error and omissions
Errors and
and a
omissions
bond.
insurance. Yes.
Yeah, and what it does is secures you in case something happens. So the minimum you can do is maybe like a $25,000 insurance, and you
Mhm.
probably pay maybe like let's say for a year, you probably pay maybe like $100 or something like that, or
It's
maybe
not
less.
expensive. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a lot, and then your bond, I think your bond lasts for maybe 3 or 4 years. It just depends on the state or whatever. And it's
Hmm.
it's not like a lot that you pay for that, but it's basically there to insure you in case something happens in a
Yes.
in a, a scenario. So that's why it's beneficial to have that. Just like with any type of business, you always want to be insured. And so yeah, so you just look at your state guidelines, see how much you need to pay, and then also for certain states, I was gonna say signatures. Let's go there real fast. Like for a signature, there's certain amount that you can charge for a signature. Like in the state of California, we do like $15 a signature. I think we have like one of the highest in the country. If someone said they're from North Carolina, I think North Carolina went up to like $10. But how you make your money is in the travel fee.
Okay.
You can kind of charge people. Like for me, it doesn't matter. Like even if you're like 5 miles down the street, I might charge you like $50 for a traveling fee,
Girl,
along with
so
um
you're in
along with
you're
the
in
signature.
California. The way traffic is in California, I wouldn't blame you.
Yeah, so if you got like three signatures and let's say like 15, 15, and 15, that's what like 40 the
45.
15 45, and
Mm-hmm.
then my travel fee is 50, so that's $95 that I'm gonna
Hmm.
charge, just for those three signatures. And then
Now,
also what was that?
do you charge for all like the paper? Like you mentioned that some of those documents are a couple hundred pages. Do you charge for like the paper and stuff like that as well?
Like it sometimes I just charge based on the type of document it is. Like
Okay.
let's say, because when you're surrounded around like hospitals, and those are tough times for families, right? I get it, but you're still running a business. So if someone contacts me and say, hey, come to this hospital, blah blah blah. We need to get a trust or something like that signed, right? So based on the document and the signatures, like you can easily charge someone like maybe like $225, and it can be only maybe let's say like 4 pages, you know. So
Yeah.
it's like you kind of can charge whatever. It just kind of depends. Like in certain states, like I know like Louisiana, I don't think they even have like a fee.
They don't have a fee?
Yeah, like I don't think they have like I think from my understanding they don't have like where you can charge based on signatures. You can kind of charge
Oh,
whatever.
okay. So that means that you're not able to charge in Louisiana based on signature.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Like you can
Okay.
charge
All
somebody
right.
like if it's two, three signatures, you can kind of say,
Mhm.
hey, $70 or whatever it is. Like I
Okay.
don't think there's no restrictions on the
No
signatures. From my
restrictions.
understanding.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I do want to come back to this though. So Notary mentioned the E&O insurance, the errors and omissions insurance. I used to have errors and omissions insurance with my State Farm, where I also had my car and my, home insurance and things like that. So if you go to your State Farm rep, I'm sure Geico probably has a Progressive, whomever, and talk to the business side, unless your agent does the commercial insurance as well. You can ask them for an errors on emissions or E&O insurance, and they will be able to give that to you. For the bonds, you can Google surety bond in your state, and you'll find a whole bunch of providers, and you can just
Yeah.
call around in order to find the bonds, and they'll ask you what you're doing. You'll fill in an application, things like that. I don't think, if you have challenge credit and all of that, I don't think that that's a major issue
No, it's
at
not.
all. So don't worry about credit issues or anything like that.
And I
So,
also was gonna say,
mhm.
get familiar with the NNA, which is the National Notary Association, because they have
National Notary
all
Association.
yeah,
Okay.
they have all the information that you need, and it's great to become a member with them because if you have any type of questions, you can always contact them, and they can always guide you through any type of process that you're probably encountering as you are on your notary journey.
Okay. So National Notary Association. I had not heard of that, so I like that. I'm gonna go and check about that. So Demir is saying, so the bond might cost me $100 for $10,000 worth of coverage.
Yeah, I mean it just depends on how much
Mhm.
coverage you want or how much you
Yeah.
need.
I
That's
would
it,
just
it's
call
very
Demir. I would call them
yeah.
and ask. Yeah.
Yeah, it varies on that.
Yeah.
And also I was gonna say that I sent you the link in
Mhm.
your email, like the
Mhm.
for my book that I have, my
Yes.
ebook or whatever.
Yes. Let me
Yeah,
get that.
so yeah, so that there's other things that you can do in the notary world. And sometimes in a lot of those cases you don't even have to be a notary, but it is helpful for you to be a notary. Because a lot of like these niches that are out there, people will contact you, they will find you and want you to do certain things for them just because you're a notary. Yeah, and
Tell
that's
us
really
more about
good.
that. What do you mean by
Like
that?
for an example, I was gonna say like, I have a Google business page. That's
Mhm.
how you advertise yourself. You advertise yourself through Google, Yelp, um,
Mhm.
what is it, Nextdoor, Thumbtack,
Okay.
even Craigslist.
Mhm.
Craigslist is like $5 a posting.
Isn't
Because some people,
Craigslist dead?
yeah, people, but no, believe it or not, people still get on Craigslist and and find you, right? So there's all these different little niches that are out there. It's in my book though, so that you can utilize those types of business ventures also to make money in. And the thing is that it's how can I say this? Like being in this industry to me is so fulfilling because the amount of people that you meet, the types of people that you meet, it's like it's I'm telling you, it's you just can't imagine. You meet all
Well,
types of people.
I think that this industry is great for women for so many
Yeah,
different reasons. The a couple of major ones is that some of you are either, housewives, or you want to have children, or your child, maybe you need to homeschool for a little bit and you can't work a 9 to 5 job. And this could be a
yeah,
great way for you to make that supplemental income that you're looking for and be flexible. Some of you are looking to get out of debt. This could be a great way for you to be able to do
yeah,
that. Some of you are looking like, hey, I want to get out of this corporate job. These people are driving me crazy. This could be a great
yeah,
transition. You spend 12 months getting to know the title companies, the other types of attorneys, know that you're state attorneys and people like that. And all of a sudden, you've got a business, etc. So, and sometimes your corporate job's just a little rocky, right? A lot of people are caught off guard. And having something like this seems like something to me that you could turn up when you need to turn it up, when you need to make extra money, and then never ever let it be like completely zero. But you could have maybe one a week or something like that, just to make sure that your name is staying relevant. But there's certain times when you're going to be busier than others. I just want to say here, Mentor Shelley is saying you can also obtain your insurances through the
yep,
NNA as well. So thanks for
yep.
saying that. Denise is saying, can't wait to re-listen to the broadcast. Beulah is in the building, my trades girl. Hey, Beulah. Sarita is here as well. And Brian's Tax is in the building, making that tax money. Brian's Tax, I probably have to have you on as well to come and talk about accounting, because we're serious now. Monday is going to be about making money and ways that we're going to be able to do that. Uh, but okay, so notary world. You had mentioned the real estate, and I happen to know about real estate. There's always real estate transactions happening. I mean, it's not just buy and sell. Sometimes you have people inheriting properties, or stuff is moving, etc. So there's always stuff happening, and going through the title companies is a great way for people to make money. But you had also mentioned some of the other ways as well with regards to let's go the estate planning. Do we go to estate
Yeah.
planning attorneys? Are there other people that we go to in order to network? Talk to us about that.
Yes, attorneys are the biggest, the main ones, because
Mhm,
they're the ones that actually put in the documents together,
mhm,
especially on the legal level, and so they need notaries to sign those documents.
mhm,
So, I was at a networking event one time, and I met an estate planning attorney, and me and her, we exchanged information, and so she needed a notary to notarize documents in the area that I was in. So, and imagine, those booklets are very, very thick. It's like so many pages or whatever, right? And we're $15 a signature in California. So if you're looking at 30 signatures, times that by 15, it's
yeah, it's a lot.
a lot, yeah. So you can get it through the attorneys, of course, and then
Mhm,
just some people just would just contact you off of Google or Yelp,
mhm,
just so it's all kind of ways to like get people to want your service.
yeah,
But in that situation, it's always the attorney for the most part. That's
yes,
why it's always
yes.
good to get in good with them. And also, if you're in your area, if you are serious about becoming a notary, attend like attorney networking events.
Well, that's what I was thinking as well. There are all sorts of attorney networking events that are out there depending on where you live. So, going to those events, not being a wallflower, bring
Yeah,
your business cards. Bring your business cards. Make sure that you have your phone number clearly on there, your email address, say
yeah,
licensed and bonded. That way they know you're like really in business, you know, serving areas, it could be your county, it could be different cities, different neighborhoods that you serve, etc. But having that business card, and some people will do a digital business card as well. So,
Yeah.
if y'all are like, oh, I don't want to have the paper, well, you could do a digital business card. I happen to like the paper, but okay. But the biggest thing is not for you to give your business card. The biggest thing is for you to get business cards and
Yeah.
for you to follow up with people. And the greatest thing, because you all know I'm the networking person around here, is these individuals following up with them once a week for 12 weeks. And I'll tell you the psychology behind it. The psychology behind it is that it takes about 8 to 10 times of a person seeing your name in order for them to trust you and want to give you a shot. You'll have, out of, let's say 100 people, you get their business cards and you start emailing them. You'll have two or three that'll give you a shot during, like, the first or second time that they talk to you. uh, you'll have about 20 to 30 of them who will give you a shot and like give you an order, let's say, uh, between the sixth and the 10th time that you talk to them. And this is statistics, it's not just me saying this. The majority of people will still not give you a call, and that's okay as well. The whole point, though, is for you to find that group of people who are like, I have a notarization that needs to be done. Notary World is the first person I'm calling, or Brian's Tax is the first person I'm calling, or Denise or Beulah, whomever it is. That's the first person I'm calling to see if they can do it. And all you need, honestly, depending on the title company you're working with, all you need is about two or three of them to be
That's
to
it.
to be slammed.
Yeah, that's all you need. It's all you
Hmm.
need is, like you said, it's like maybe like two or three,
Hmm.
and you're in there. And
Yeah.
especially when you were saying, like, as far as like with 2025, like I think like after the election,
Hmm.
that's when things are really going to start like cooling down a little bit
Yep.
with these interest rates. So that's when you're going to start probably seeing a boom, because these people are ready to just let go. They're ready to
Yep.
refinance.
People are ready
They're
to
so ready.
refinance, and there's also pent up demand for people wanting to move as well. So,
That part.
yes, you're gonna there's a lot of pent up demand. It's actually already starting with the refinances because
Yeah.
we're talking amongst our company with regards to that, and it's, yeah. I have people sitting on the fence. They're like, I needed to come down another point, Cherie, and I'm in. So,
Yeah.
and look, Jerome, our friend Jerome Powell, is waiting for the
Right.
election, and things about to turn up in 2025. So all I could say to everybody is, like, get ready with
Yeah.
whatever you're doing. If you're gonna do notary, great. If you're doing something else, great. Get ready, because the money is going to be there for whomever is ready.
It is.
I
And
do
trust me,
want to
because
say
I,
one thing. Beulah saying it's hot outside, girl. I know it was cool today though, where I was. But Brian's Tax is saying yes. Victoria's in the building saying happy Monday, everyone. Victoria is going to be my special guest next week as well. So go ahead, Notary World. What else were you going to say?
oh yeah, I was agreeing with what you were saying, like as far as like what our homie Jerome Powell,
Hmm.
once all of that, stuff is gonna really, start like really, really booming and stuff, and people are really gonna start making money. And I think they also was correlating the whole unemployment stuff too with I guess releasing some of that room to get the interest
Yeah.
rate
So
to
what
go down.
happened was, and I think they knew this, but what happened was they over accounted for 800,000 jobs, basically meaning they thought they had created 800,000 additional jobs that they had not over the past, I think it was year and a half. So because the economy is softening, because unemployment is higher, things like that. Um, the Fed is finally ready to start reducing the interest rate. So everybody who's in the industry, not just mortgages, but financial, period,
Yeah.
believes that the interest rates are going down. People are now speculating how much, how quickly. are these interest rates going to start going down? So, and here's the thing I want my upwardly mobile women to know. We want to be careful that the interest rates don't go down too quickly either, because then that could heat up the economy faster, which would then increase inflation.
Yeah.
I told y'all prices ain't going down. I don't care what Kamala says, prices ain't going down. All we need to do is like stabilize the prices and make more money so that we're able to afford the
Right.
things that we want to be able to afford. So getting Notary World's book, I'm definitely going to get it myself. It's like what, $5.99, something like that. It's a
Not
very
9.99. I'm sorry. I think it's
9.99.
9.99.
Very inexpensive book, ladies, for you all to go and learn more from Notary World. So um, Denise is saying Brother Jerome holds all the power. And J. Row can make interest rates go low, low. I love it. Yes, yes. Jerome Powell. I don't care what anybody says. I say it continuously. You could not tell me that you didn't think he was black. You heard the name Jerome Powell. You're like, they got a brother leading the Fed.
Right.
You're looking at the real Jerome Powell. You're like, how did he get the name Jerome? So, yes,
Oh
yes.
yeah. Yeah. So in the thing is that in this industry, it's like everything is contingent upon like what the real estate market is doing. Like,
Mhm.
'cause like I said, that's where you make the bulk of your money.
Yeah.
But you also have to find, other little ways to keep going, keep current. You got to
Mhm.
pivot. That's what I'm trying to say. You have to like learn how
Yes.
to pivot in other ways to make money in this industry also. And in this industry, like I said, it's always good to be a notary when you're doing certain things. However, you don't have to be a notary in every aspect of making money in under the notary umbrella.
Mhm.
Yeah, if that makes sense.
Yes. Now, I heard that there are people who make money being a witness to
Right.
notarize
What?
documents.
Uh
Tell
huh.
me about that as well.
Yeah. So in a lot of cases, you need witnesses, especially when you're in the estate planning world.
Mhm.
So yeah. So sometimes I do get those calls to become a witness, and they get paid a certain fee. It just
Mhm.
all depends. And sometimes in our state in California, we can also be a witness and a notary at the same time, whereas in
Interesting.
certain other states, if you're a notary, you can't witness documents. So that's a little bit of leverage that we have here. It just depends on the state you're in. But yeah, so yeah, you can also make money in being a witness. Yes. And
Mhm.
also the thing is that you have to be able to just really, really, really network, because other notaries can contact you. That's why it's always good to get in good with other notaries in your area, because they will need you for to witness documents
That's
and whatever the
interesting.
case may be. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So, yes, this is true. You can also be an inspector as well. What is an inspector? What is
Like I do
that?
that also. I do that also. You become like a property inspector, and what
Oh,
that is,
like a home
and
inspector?
kind of sort of like that. Actually, I did a couple today, but
Okay.
yeah. So what you do is that you go to like a residential area, or like even multifamily or commercial
Mhm.
building, and you just go and do some inspections on that property. You want to make sure that it's just based on what the company needs for you to do. You want to
Okay.
see if there's certain things, like if there's any environmental issues at the place, if there's like any like mold or mildew, or any type of deferred maintenance on a building.
Okay. What kind of training do you need for that?
Actually, there's minimal training, but they trust.
Really?
The thing is, they trust notaries to do that. Like that's what I'm saying. Like just having your notary license,
Wow.
a commission, people will just see you on a certain directory and just
Mhm.
contact you and say, hey, like this company that found me.
Mhm.
They saw me on some directory, and they reached out to me, and they sent me like all these jobs. And all I have to do is actually just go to these properties and just take photos, really.
Interesting. Interesting. There's so many ways for us to be able to make money, whether it's part-time or full-time. I mean, I'm learning a lot this evening with regards to this. I want to say hey to Abundance. Haven't seen you in a while. You're saying, hey, all, I've been busy, but glad to tune in today. Well, we're glad to have you. Victoria is saying, I may have missed it, but does she do loan signings too? So, do you do
Yes,
loan
I do
signings?
loan signings.
Yes,
Yeah.
we talked about that, Victoria. Actually, that was like the first half of what we talked about today. So, you said, I've heard that's where the big money is. So, because we have more people in here, why don't you recap just a little bit about the money in the loan signings?
Yeah. When it comes to loan signing, like I was telling Sheree earlier, was that the market, it just depends on, it was dependent upon the interest rate. So when the interest rates were low, loan signing agents were making like between like $500 to maybe $750 a day, just doing three loan signings. But once the market, the interest rates went down. I mean, I'm sorry, when the interest rates went up, then that money kind of like evaporated in a way.
Hmm.
So so they were lowballing you. So now you can probably make maybe the highest, maybe like 125 for a loan signing. Like today, I had like like six loan signings, but of course I turned them down.
Hmm.
So,
Because yeah, it's just not enough. So,
yeah,
but
it's
it'll
not
get
enough.
back. So let me ask this because I know, for example, being a loan officer, 40%, I think, of our industry, like we're licensed. So, and you have to get your continuing education every November, or else you're no longer licensed. You can no longer do loans. And it was something like 40%, over 120,000, I think, loan officers left the industry when the interest rates went up. Did you find that as well with regards to notaries? Because I will say that, like, one of the things that people were telling us is, like, if you hold on now during the 8% interest rate times, when this thing gets back to 5%, like, you're going to be flooded with calls. Did you find that within your industry as well, that a lot of people left?
I see people on YouTube talking about it, but not like
Oh,
in
people
my
selling
circle.
courses, huh?
Uh, yeah, like people like on YouTube, I saw that they started pivoting out and going back to their nursing jobs or whatever
Mhm.
the case may be. Because I started seeing all this content, like I'm leaving, going back to my 9 to 5. You see a lot of that. But just in my every day to day, and my colleagues and people that I know, they kind of stuck in the industry because, like I said, we found other ways to pivot.
Yeah.
um yeah, pivot in the industry, like it's certain states, like because I know in California, we can't do like I-9s. You're a notary, you can't do
Mhm.
I-9s, but in
Mhm.
some states, like maybe in Maryland, to be a notary you can do an I-9, which is like employment verification.
Right.
So a lot of people started doing those, that kind of stuff, whatever. Or like I was saying, like the estate planning world, or just, it's so many things. The property inspections,
Mhm.
you got like, fingerprinting. People got into that, like the apostees, those documents that need to go to another country. So
Right.
it's just people started finding other ways to make money, and all of those niches that I just talked about, you can make a lot of money in those. Not just with loan signers, but that was the bulk of everybody's attention was mainly focused on loan signers,
Yeah.
and
You know,
you do get those a lot.
let's say that again.
I'm saying you do get loan signers a lot. You just have to sign up with like so many signing companies. Like this
Mhm.
one company that I'm with now, like just being on the phone with you, I've already got like three notifications.
Girl.
But yeah, but they're like, sometimes you will accept them.
Mhm.
You'll do it if you have the time. But you're so used to doing the 225s or the 125. It
Mhm.
just all depends. It all depends if you're gonna do the $80 to $90 ones, which is not really that bad. So
It depends on how far you're going for me.
yeah, it
Like,
depends on how
really,
far
my
you're
my
going. Yeah,
time is super important. So, one of the things that I will say is the super majority of people want to do what's easy.
yeah,
And it's human nature to be lazy, to want to do what's easy, but so many people want to do what's easy that they miss. like the really, really good times, because if it's not easy for them, like let's take the loan officer, being a loan officer, for example, so many people left because the refis weren't just coming into their lap, because they had to actually get on the phone and they actually had to talk to people and they actually had to do outbound marketing and outbound advertising. It takes something to be able to go to Dunkin' Donuts and get those donuts and go to the title company and network with the office manager and talk to the other title reps that are there and get the business card and follow up and email them in order to get, direct contact. But when you do that, you can make $500 a day with 2 loan signings, whether times are good or bad, because like most companies don't want to be taken advantage of. However, if I know that I need to handle this client with kid gloves, I'm going to go to Notary World because I know she's not going to F up my documents, right? Like, this is my person who's buying a $5 million house. I'm not going to give that to just any notary. I
Right.
want to send the notary in there and I'm going to pay you 250 because I know that those documents are going to come back right. So that's how you want to frame yourself with people, but that takes more effort. It takes
Yeah.
effort. So, Mentor Shelley is saying it can be simple as taking pictures and completing a form. So, we're talking about property inspection.
Right.
And Blackwater Row is going to look in a property inspection. That's what we're here for. Like, let's make this money. Um, Actually, the real big money in notary is the apostille services. I've heard that as well. I have. Um, Victoria saying, "Oh wow, thanks for the update." Yeah, yeah. Look, Victoria, this is something you could do. Victoria, you need to stick to debt though. The debt coaching is where you need to be. But not talk. You call me. Fun size is here. I don't think I've seen you before. I've seen a lot of videos of people going back to their 9 to 5. Yeah, well, people were doing that a couple of years ago. Now they're gonna be an entrepreneur again,
Yeah.
So Dawn Earth is saying, "Oh man, I'm in class, but I'll catch the replay and thank you for doing this, ladies. You are welcome. Enjoy your class, Dawn to Earth." Um, so I definitely want to plug your book again. It is, let me actually just put it here. Why don't you tell people about your book, what's in it? And ladies, it's in the chat, so you're able to go and look more at Notary World's book. What's in this book?
It just basically it's the ultimate guide of just how you can make the best out of being a notary. I just included some few niches in there where you can you can make money, and then I kind of like break it down into exactly what they are, like what those
Mhm.
niches are, what they entail. But yeah, there's like you can in this industry. I know if you heard of Andre Hatchett, right? He's
Yes,
like the
the
king.
Godfather. He's the Godfather of Notary.
Yeah, he's like the godfather. Yeah, he's like the godfather of notary. Yeah. So he's real big on like how you can make like ten to $15,000 a month, and I
Mhm.
think Erica, you guys familiar with Erica Williams? She just posted something on her community wall. She showed a guy that made like $1 million, doing starting a notary business as far as being like what was he, a signing service or something.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's all about you using your imagination and just kind of studying, just like any other business. Like right now, people talking
Mhm.
about AI. You can create some kind of thing in the notary world, with AI. It's just basically you reinventing the market.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, it's like people need notarizations done like all day long. Like
Mhm.
not even just an individual company. Like
Mhm.
I've been to like I go to companies, meet with the CEO of these companies, all the time. That need notarizations, and it's so interesting to meet these people. You network with them, and you don't even really feel intimidated because you do this stuff so much
Mhm.
that they just regular people and they just CEO of a company,
Yeah.
and especially where I'm in the area that I'm in, you have these companies that are AI companies, tech
Mhm.
companies, people that have companies dealing with like building baby baby stuff, baby items. It's like the Playboy mansion,
You went to the
so
Playboy Mansion?
like the actual headquarters. I'm sorry, I went to the Playboy
Oh,
headquarters.
you could have told us you went to the Playboy Mansion and notarized some
Yeah,
stuff. That would have
had
been
to.
fun. That would have been a good story. I would have like,
Yeah,
look,
like
let's talk about that.
and yeah, and especially like when you are like in the city that I'm in, you meet entertainer celebrities. You go notarize their documents. Like I was
Yeah.
at this lady house the other day, and I'm sitting there like, I know this lady, I know her. Like, where I know her from? And so since I already had her information in my journal, I looked her up, and I was like, oh, I know, I've seen her before.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
yeah, it's just stuff like that. So that it just all depends on where you at. But if you're in a small town, like how you can make the best out of things, what I would suggest is like the biggest town close to you, get a virtual office
hmm,
and just commute there, so that people, when they pull you up on Google, your address is in a bigger town, and you just have to travel there to get clients
to
in
get
that
your
in that area.
clients. Yeah.
Yeah.
Victoria's saying, funny enough, I got certified as a notary in California years ago, but I never renewed or did any signings. LOL, a
A
mess.
mess.
And Victoria's also going to check out your book. And Mentor
Okay.
Shelley's saying, yep, I took Andre's course to start my first notary commission in Florida, then now in Georgia. Yeah. Oh, look,
Yeah.
I like Andre. I really do. He seems to be an honorable person. He definitely does teach the real deal. I got his notary course as well. I've only looked at like half
Yeah.
a course because I was like, still trying to figure out. But the last questions I want to ask you are around being a virtual notary because you had mentioned being in a small town, and I was like, look, well, I actually want to bring up a point as well to all of you ladies is as you get older, you're going to slow down and you're going to want to slow down, right? You're not going to be want to be on your feet as a teacher, as a nurse, or anything like that. So getting involved in being like a notary, in my opinion, is a great way for you to think about like retirement, like not just side hustle, but like what can I do at age 65, 70, 75, 80 that's not going to be taxing on my body or my mind, right?
Yeah.
Um, and notary to me is like one of those things. I'm going to call it like retirement side businesses or something like that. Um, but uh, I had to, for my business, I had to get something notarized. And I Googled virtual notary, and FedEx has a virtual notary business. So when I went in there, it was $25. And I spoke with the guy. He was in Texas. He notarized my document virtually. And I said, just, curiosity, how much do you make? And this was like a year and a half ago. He told me he makes $400 a day from
Yep.
his house being a
Yep.
virtual notary. So, do you know anything about that? How do people do they just sign
Yeah.
up with a signing company for that? Like, how do people get on that game?
Yeah. It's called RON, remote online notarization.
Say
However,
that one more time
in
because
my
you broke
state,
up.
okay, can you hear me? Okay.
Mhm.
What it's called? It is called RON. That's the abbreviations for it, remote online notarization. And
Okay.
so in my state of California, we can't do it until 2030, the year
Oh,
2030.
okay.
But in states like Florida, I know Florida, Texas, like you said, those states,
Hmm.
they have remote online notarization. And what it is there, you have to take like a course because you got to learn the software. Learn the
Hmm.
software, and then from what I've heard, you can kind of charge like some people charge like maybe $100 to do that.
To do
Yeah.
virtual notaries, all I keep thinking is, boy, all you have to do is go from your bedroom to your office in your house and
Yep.
log in and talk to cool people all day. Okay, what's this document? Show me your ID, etc. It doesn't have to be all day, like half a day, whatever it is, and make money. And
Yep.
that is a great thing. Like for whatever reason, if you have any kind of physical impairment or something like that, or you get physically impaired or something like that, that's like a great fallback way for you to do the virtual
Yeah.
notaries. So Victoria is saying I had to use a virtual notary to get my virtual office set up in Virginia. That would be cool to get into. And she says my gal was in Texas too. Yeah, my guy was in
Yeah.
Texas for that. I think it was just so interesting. I ended up having to pay, it was $25 base, and then they charge per signature as well. And I had like
Yeah.
four signatures on there or something like that. So it's interesting that you're mentioning that that's how they charge, because I was like, why do I have to pay per signature? And, whatever it was, like, I was like, I have to get this notarized. I have to pay, I have to pay it. I don't have a
Yeah.
choice, right? But yeah, that's interesting.
And
Uh,
that works well. And I was gonna say it works well for like people that are like overseas and
mhm,
they might need to get a document
mhm,
notarized. And
mhm,
so they will contact someone in any of those states.
mhm.
And I'm quite sure they'll be willing to pay whatever just to get that taken care of,
Yes.
especially when you're in those dire situations.
Mhm. That's
Yeah. So
true.
it's
That is
so
true.
it's money to be made, and that's what I'm talking about. The remote online stuff is kind of like AI-ish, kind of in a
Mhm.
way, you
Yeah.
know. So that's why
Yeah.
it's important to like learn that type of stuff also.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. Well, we thank you for coming in and
yeah.
educating us with regards to this. Did we leave anything out? Is there something that you wanted to talk about that we didn't talk about this evening?
And let me think. As far as the industry is concerned, like if anyone is interested in it, I would say just go ahead and just do it. Don't even think about it. Just go ahead, look at your state guidelines. Go to the NNA. Go ahead and pay the fee, take the course or whatever, and
Mhm.
just do it. Just do it. Just to pay. Pay the fee or whatever you need to pay in your state. Get the extra money. It's nothing wrong with making extra money. And
That's
to
true.
set up you a Google business page, a Yelp page. If you got a church, so advertise at your local church, your local chamber of commerce,
Mhm.
wherever, whatever. Pass out pamphlets, whatever you need to do, and just get the ball rolling because it's really a cool industry to be a part of, and
Mhm.
especially like this is a Black women's channel that, from what I noticed, it's a lot of us in this industry. Even like in the NNA, they just nominated a Black woman as like the person of the year or whatever. You know,
Fantastic.
yeah, so I watch all of that kind of stuff, but it's so many like Black women that are in this industry. Even if you get on
Mhm.
YouTube, you're gonna see a lot of us, and you see
Yes.
some men too. But it's really a good industry to be a part of, and I can talk about this all day, because
Mhm.
you like I said, you can make at least like bare minimum $3,000 a month, in this industry.
I think that that is an amazing thing, even because I'm going to be doing a lot more with Victoria, who's doing a lot of debt coaching, and some of us just need to get out of debt, and doing
Yeah,
notary part time for a year to 2 years can knock out that credit card debt, that student loan debt, things like that, and really set us free. I'm also thinking, and I'm about to be 50 in a year, 2 years, something like that. Yes.
you look good,
And
girl.
thank
Yes,
you.
I would
Thank
have thought that.
and I'm thinking now, like, hey, when I turn 70, what do I really want to be doing? I know that I'm going to naturally slow down. So being a loan officer is one thing, but I also know, like, hey, I just want to set my life up so that I'm able to make money anywhere, right? And I'm able to make good money, and I'm able to do it well into my grandmother died when she was 96. So like I have people in my family who live a long time. So I'm thinking like the next 40, 45 years, what am I able to do to sustain myself?
Yeah.
So I just encourage people to kind of think about that. Um, if some of you are young and you want to get married, have children, things like that, the schools are a little shaky these days. You may want to pull your kid out and homeschool your child. Well, you're going to need something, most likely, in order to sustain you and your family. this could be a great thing as well. So I'm just kind of thinking about it from all sorts of angles for us as Black women. Um,
Yeah, you're so right about that. Cause my aunt, she's 62 years old, and I got
mhm,
her to get her notary commission in North Carolina.
mhm.
So she's just been sitting on it. But every day I'm trying to encourage her, like, get up,
Yeah,
auntie.
go out.
You retire, but just go ahead. Just do it. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Before you need it, it's like better for you to build it and have it, before
yeah,
you need it versus, oh my goodness, I need $1,000 tomorrow. It's too late to start, right? So, yeah, I'm going on 35. Yes, Victoria. Yes, you say it, girl. Thank you so much for saying I look good. Thank you.
yeah, you do.
So we're going to answer this question one more time. This is from Fun Size asking about the notary bond. Her state requires a $10,000 one. So one more time, if you would talk about the bonding and the errors and omissions or E&O insurance, and that'll be our last question.
Yeah, it's just basically something that is going to insure you in case something happens. In case something might happen where someone says, "Hey, any type of scenario," which, from my experience, I've never heard anyone, having to, go to court or anything like that based on their notary
Mhm.
commission. But it's like a safety net to secure you from any type of like obstacle that might get thrown your way. Really, that's what all it is, and they require that for the most part in every state. Like you can get like it don't even have to be $10,000. You can insure yourself for like 1 million or 250. Just depends. That's the minimum that they require is just $10,000. So that's
Yes.
why it's important when you do become a notary, you make sure you're doing the most ethical thing. You have to be very ethical. Like that's why you have to go through a background check.
Mhm.
Because if you have any type of blemish on your background check, you can't even be a notary. So it's like your service is for the public, and
So
when you're
does
dealing
that
with the
mean,
public,
so what kind of blemishes are we talking about here?
like you can't be a felon.
Okay, no felons. Okay.
Yeah, like no
I'm not as
felons or
concerned about that. I don't think you
yeah,
were, but I figured I would ask just in case. Yeah. Okay.
yeah. You can't be a felon for the most part, and
Okay.
sometimes it can vary on the felony. It
Mm-hmm.
sometimes can maybe vary. Just depends. Just all about when you go through your background check and it comes back, yay or nay. You never know how they view it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I thank you again for coming here, educating us on this. Everybody, this is Notary World's book. I definitely encourage you get it. It's $9.99, so it's not going to break the bank. Um,
Right.
I looked at the classes from my community college. So my community college has a 1 day class. I'm still thinking about whether or not I'm going to do it. I'll be honest with you, just because I really need to focus on being a lender, but we'll see. I might do it just because. Um, but it's $200 for me to go to the class itself. I know it's my community college, so I'm not worried about it being some scammerish thing, that's out there. I think also Denise found it at her community college as well. So check your community college, sign up, figure out what needs to be done. Your errors and omissions insurance you can get from the State Farm, Geico, Progressive, or from what is it, the National Notary Association? Is that what it's called? The National Notary Association, you can go to that. You can go to the National Notary Association in order to figure out how to start your business, grow your business, and, just start networking and come up with a plan, do the plan. That's really it. So, Victoria is saying, I'm on it. Denise is saying, excellent information. Thank you, ladies. Virginia looks like it allows online notary. Georgia doesn't. But hey, you know, there's a lot of different ways that you're able to do this business. So, Denise is saying, yes, it's $200 in my local community college as well. So, yes, ladies, look, this is like, I mean, you could basically get your money back within 1 to 2 jobs of, 1 to 2 notaries. what kind of return on investment,
Yeah.
is this? This is like multiple thousand, percent return on investment. I think this is a great thing for you ladies to consider getting into. Um, Final words, Notary World, before we
Oh,
leave.
I just want to thank you so much for allowing me to come on your platform. I really appreciate
Absolutely.
that because, I was just a commenter in your chat.
Mhm. I'm like, we got to get you here. So here's the thing. I would love for you to come once every 6 months. I want
That's
to do
fine.
more of these kinds of, like, hey, just getting people thinking about like what they're able to do to supplement their income or transition into being a full-time entrepreneur. So,
Yeah,
uh,
I'll come whenever you want me to pull up. Whenever you want me to
okay,
come up there, whatever. We don't have to wait 6 months. It's just
okay,
whenever you feel as though we can do this. Yes, and I like what what's the name Credit Solution is.
uh huh,
Yeah, I like what she says also. And Erica, we can all just be on here together, just talking our business talk.
absolutely, love it, love it. And if there's anything we can do over here as the Black Woman Making Money universe, definitely let us know. But everybody,
Right.
please support Notary World, her book. I'm trying to get her to do her YouTube channel again, push out, etc. So when she's ready and doing that, she's going to let us know. We're going to go over there and support her. She's going to talk about general business stuff over there. And, there's just so much opportunity. So I'm just so grateful to you for coming on, for agreeing to share your knowledge, because you didn't have to do that. So many people just say, oh, I got mine, you get yours. But
Oh,
you agreed to actually like open up, answer questions, things like that. And I don't take that for granted. So thank you so much. Thank
thank
you,
you so much.
everybody. And I will see you all on the next video. Take care,
Bye bye.
ladies. Bye bye.